Okay, I know what you're talking about, though. I definitely feel your pain.
You just
Happens
have to go over that talk in your head.
Yes. Alright, so sorry about that. We were having a conversation. I was setting up the stream. So, yeah, I ended the last stream to do a Birds of Prey focus stream, as I was kind of done with playing through the story of Arkham City. So, and this is something me and Jake can both do, other than just chat, because we just started talking about Birds of Prey, and I felt like, you know, why not? We need to do a podcast video on it. So, I'm gonna be playing Arkham Knight. I don't know what he's gonna be playing, but
I'm playing right now. I'll probably switch off in a little bit.
But I'm gonna play the Harley Quinn DLC, I think. Yeah, I'll probably go with that, because it's easy as shit.
And just flexing that 240% right there.
Yep, flexing that 240%. 4 years in the making. I got most of it done, other than the Riddler trophies and the 100% New Game Plus. Is that the skin I want to use for Harley Quinn? Yeah. Alright. Okay, so... Oh no, I don't want to fucking continue. That's what it is. So... Anyway, where do you want to start?
Start of the movie.
Okay,
What do we start with? Like, oh yeah, that animated thing.
Oh yeah. So there's like a goofy animation segment at the beginning of the film. I can't, say if it was good or bad. It was just okay. And then I don't remember where it fucking goes to. Isn't it like her saying she got kicked out by the Joker? Yeah, she left the Joker, or the Joker left her. And she
And she's like hollering around.
all depressed and all that kind of shit. Like, I find it hilarious that this is a female empowerment film. Supposedly, like, that's what everybody's saying. Even though, like, I mean, you could still tell that she's depressed about the Joker, even at the end of this film. Like, if the Joker would ask for her back after this, I guarantee she would have, went out with the Joker again. I'm almost positive.
That's just Harley.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but in the comics, she, like, hates the Joker after this happens. But, again, the thing is, I hate that version of Harley Quinn because it's just uncharacteristic. She is obsessed with the Joker. That is her entire character. And if you're gonna get rid of that, there's kind of nothing interesting about her other than she's DC's Deadpool. I know some say that's Deathstroke. If you ask me, it's Harley. Only just because that's all she is. She's an anti-hero who goes around, sometimes breaking the fourth wall, being annoying, and
it could be Catwoman. I think
pushing
it's
the wall.
Catwoman mixed. If she was like a little bit more bad. If she was like still as badass, but she was talking through the fourth wall.
Yeah. I don't like Harley Quinn nowadays in the comics, though. I don't think she's a very good character. I like her in the animated series. I like her, from a few years ago. But I like how they handled it in this movie, though. I still don't think it was, like, perfect or anything, but...
Yeah, I think the way they handled feminism, for the most part,
was terrible.
Movie, I think well, they didn't show it off other than the end.
Yeah, I mean, if you weren't told that, I actually, now thinking about it, I don't think I would have seen this as a feminist movie. And that's good.
Like, they obviously cut a lot out.
Yeah. Well, I feel like after, like, the reception of Charlie's Angels, because that was, like, the reason people were saying it failed, I feel like the reception of that, I feel like, proved on why they shouldn't have full, like, feminist movies. Like, big budget movies. Because it's gonna run it into the ground.
Obviously it did for Birds of Prey.
Yeah, Birds of Prey isn't doing good, and I'm surprised by that. But it came out a week before Sonic, which I hear is actually amazing.
Yeah,
You seen it?
no, I just said that's what I've been hearing about it.
Yeah. And I didn't just hear that from Brody either, because I wouldn't take that as a full-on... Because, like, Brody said it was, like, the greatest thing ever or whatever, and I'm like, well, okay. But clearly, I'm not gonna think that. Because he's, like, a huge Sonic fan. He sucks a lot of these movies cocks.
He wasn't, like, absolutely sucking its dick like he was with Detective Pikachu. He did say it's better than Detective Pikachu, but it seems like it's almost formal now. He said it wasn't the best movie. It's a solid movie as it is, but he's like, it's the run-of-the-mill Alien meets World movie.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that type of movie at all.
It seemed alright.
But, anyway, I think, like, next we kind of get, like, an intro to all the characters and stuff. Which... I got a lot of Suicide Squad vibes out of that, except that was, like, 30 minutes of the movie.
Let's do Black Mask first.
Yeah, Black Mask. Alright, probably the best and worst part of this movie. At least that's what I think. And I'm saying that mostly because Ewan McGregor's performance sometimes is a solid Roman Sionis, and then the next, it kind of just seems like he's some type of Joker knockoff. And not a good Joker knockoff either.
Yeah, it wasn't like the first time he pops on screen we're like, that's a good Joker impression.
Yeah, exactly.
I swear to God they said that.
Oh, and this is the first... Oh, also, by the way, this is the first time me and him actually saw a movie together. I'm just gonna clarify that.
No, it was Black Mask. Or Black and Christmas.
Oh, yeah, Black... I'm talking about a movie that we reviewed. So, yeah, this is the first movie that we're doing a review on that we actually saw together. So... I feel like we have a lot more clarity on our opinions for this movie. But
yeah, because we were able to get each other's opinions into each other's heads right after we walked out of the movie.
Yeah, so Black Mask, he should have wore the mask more throughout the movie, as I thought the mask looked great. Even if it was a bit big, I still thought it was cool. And I mean, again, I feel like he felt like a more threatening villain with the mask on, because he actually sounded and acted like he was Black Mask.
Yeah, like, but another stupid part is as soon as you see him doing some action with the mask, it just gets pulled off.
Yeah, I liked it better in the plot leak that I did a video on where it gets melted onto his face. I thought that was like... Yeah, and that's also how he looks like in Arkham City.
I think they should have kept Black Mask and did like a Spider-Man Sinister Six with Harley, and everybody wants to kill her. Instead, it's like a bounty hunter type.
Yeah, if they were gonna do a sequel, they should never have called this movie Birds of Prey.
Should have just done a Harley Quinn something.
Yeah, the Adventures, or they should just call it the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. They should just called it that. That's the subtitle of the movie, like right when it first came out, because they changed it to Harley Quinn Birds of Prey. They should have just made it that, and then I feel like, one, it would have done better. Two, because people wouldn't know what it is, and two, it made more sense for the movie, like context of the movie. Because the Birds of Prey are not, Harley Quinn is not part of the team. And that's shown at the end, even if she worked with him, you know, at the end of the movie. Thank you. She isn't shown as a member. Her and that Kane kid.
We need to talk about, like, the main plot, how they're all trying to get that jewel stuff. How bad that is.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible.
I mean, all the characters are bad. All the side characters. Like,
yeah.
all the girls. Except for Harley.
Yeah, because she was the only, like, character they actually, like, wrote in. And we already knew who she was. I thought it was a pretty accurate comic book representation of Harley Quinn.
I think her and the kid were the only, like, actresses who did well in the movie.
Take it, the kid didn't have much to do, so it was kind of like... But
yeah,
I still liked her more than the other Birds of Prey characters. Because, again, I didn't feel like that was Black Canary. It didn't feel like that was Huntress. It felt like those were, you know, like, shitty versions of them. People that are kind of dressed up as them, but not really. It's like they wanted to include, you know, like, key Birds of Prey characters. But they couldn't include Batgirl because Batgirl hasn't been introduced yet. Thank you.
Obviously, they had to add the side plot for Huntress where her family gets killed and she's that girl, which sucks.
Yeah. Huntress was a terrible character in this movie.
Yeah, honestly, this movie could have either been 3 hours and would have been better, or 1 hour and it would have been better. They had so much stuff they cut out, obviously.
Yeah, oh, you can tell that, but I have a feeling that if they didn't cut that stuff out, it would have been terrible.
Black Mask was supposed to be, like, in the trailers, he's supposed to be super misogynistic and just a sexist.
He really isn't that.
Like, he's just a dude. I mean, the worst we see is he's making an entire team of dudes to kill Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, and he, like, kinda cut that girl's shirt off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
and that was actually, like, something I actually felt like this guy is a complete asshole. After that, he just kind of seemed like it's just a generic mob boss. And, like, some moments, I can't even tell if this guy's in a relationship with Victor Zsasz, or if he just acts like he likes him, even though he actually doesn't.
I know why. I know why they're kind of like that. So, turns out, neither of them are gay. I watched Sean Chandler's review. What he was saying is essentially Victor just really loves killing people and all that stuff. And
that makes sense.
Hi,
Brody.
I knew already. And what he was doing was he was hyping up Black Mask to get him mad, so that he had the ability, so Black Mask would be like, alright, kill these people. Which is basically...
Okay, I like that more now. That actually seems like something Zsasz would do.
That's essentially what he's trying to do, which I didn't notice.
Bye, Brody. Okay, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, and while Harley Quinn was trying to stop Black Mask from killing people and all that, so Victor was, like, kind of being a bitch to Harley. Because Victor wanted to kill people.
Also, I like that they didn't treat Harley as a hero. Because she's not that. Again, she's a horrible person, so they shouldn't make her that. She's literally obsessed with a psychopathic killer. She has no reason to become a hero just out of the blue. So, I'm glad that she really isn't a hero and she's just kinda... Even though she does have some empathy at the end of the movie for this kid, I still don't mind that.
Alright, this sounds like we're shitting on this movie. We really are, but it's a fun movie. If you're a moviegoer...
I really like this movie, actually. I think it's a pretty good movie, but there's a lot of issues with it.
This movie is not Tarantino or... Because it's...
People were comparing it to a Tarantino flick, and I'm like, this is nothing like Tarantino.
Its plot and its characters are terrible.
Yeah, but then there's like some reasons to go to see it, or the side plots. Like all the characters that have a vendetta against Harley, that's hilarious. Black Mask, Harley herself, I think those are good reasons to see the movie. Don't expect it to have a good plot, because it just has a generic MacGuffin plot.
This is just John Wick, except if John Wick didn't have a good plot.
Yeah, pretty much. And it has the same choreographer.
Yeah, that's why the fight scenes are so good in this movie.
Yeah. Like, the fight scenes are some of the best parts. And again, I feel like, again, if this wasn't rated R, because again, we are under 18, so I can't, or 17, so I can't just take all of my friends to go see this for my birthday, so I had to go with my mom and him, because he was able to see it, with me. And, all my other friends, they weren't allowed to see it. Even though now I feel like, Brody and Carter, if they would have watched it, one, it's not that bad of a movie. And two, I feel like they would have enjoyed it. Especially Brody. I think he would have loved this movie, to be honest. It's his type of movie. It's goofy, it has a lot of action.
This movie is fan, whatever, I forgot what it's called.
Fan service?
Fan service. They do a lot of that in this movie. They give like a comedic Harley Quinn, which is what a lot of fans want. I don't really want that, but I guess.
Harley Quinn is not a good main character. She's a better side villain. But they handled it well.
I think that if they made a movie about her getting chased by bounty hunters, would be way better. As I said. But
over that just being a side plot.
A really good thing I liked about this movie with Harley is how at near the end she tries to turn in that kid into Black Mass instead of saving her, which I thought was really cool. I thought that was the dopest part.
It's characteristic too. It makes sense. It's like I could see her doing. But I'm surprised it didn't do good at the box office. It feels like a Marvel movie, to be honest. Not like one of the better Marvel movies. I'm talking like an okay, mediocre Marvel movie.
For some people,
like a Far From Home.
To think like Guardians of the Galaxy is an alright movie. It's basically the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Or if you're gonna be, if you're a hardcore MCU fan, consider it like the Far From Home in the series. Okay, or no, Doctor Strange. Then there you go. Doctor Strange in the series.
Like me, who think Guardians of the Galaxy is mediocre.
Yeah.
And there's people like Matt who love Guardians of the Galaxy.
I fucking love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I think it's hilarious. I don't think it's like, I don't know why it has like such a good Rotten Tomatoes score and everybody seems to love it. Because it's honestly just a fun rom-com. It's not like I can't say it's like an Oscar-worthy movie.
You guys wanna know? Alright, today what pissed me off was, so I overheard Jordan and Brody talking in PSL. And they both think that since James Gunn is directing the Suicide Squad, that movie now, that he won't direct the Volume 3 of Guardians.
It's already confirmed he is going to.
He's directing both movies. And of course Brody and Jordan are gonna overrule me 2 against 1.
Yeah.
I still think that he's not gonna direct Guardians of the Galaxy.
I gotta say, Jordan has the strongest opinions about this kind of shit. He watches my videos. I'm not gonna dog on him because he's not that bad. But
he knows a lot of shit, but
yeah, he knows his shit. But whenever he hears a rumor, he automatically thinks it's true, and it's never true.
I like how he thinks that Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man.
I'm good with that. Yeah, that's how you can tell this kid knows his shit. But
God. Also, people out there who think that we just grew up with Tobey Maguire movies and that's why we like them most. Well, we didn't.
We were born. Me and him were both born the same year Spider-Man 3 came out.
Yeah, I don't think that's growing up with movies. If anything, we grew up with the Andrew Garfield movie.
Yeah.
We still don't really like the second one. And
yeah.
The first one's alright.
Take it. I like those as a kid, but now I'm rewatching them. I don't like them at all. It's so cringeworthy. However, we both have a favorite part of these movies that I'm not gonna get into.
Yeah, same with Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey.
Yeah, same here, wink wink. Well,
And
even
for me,
though
The Office.
even though Birds of Prey is probably the best movie out of all of these, that of the movies that we mentioned. The Office is tops all of these, but
Man, I'm surprised you said that. I'm proud of you.
I like The Office. I just think one, it's hella overrated, and two, I can't watch it every day. If I've seen it a lot in marathons, I get sick of it, but I like The Office.
You know what pissed me off the other night? I was on, whatever the website is, Rolling Stone, whatever it is that ranks a bunch of TV shows. I think it's called the Rolling Stones website. I know it's a band too. Or whatever the fuck. Anyways, they put The Office at number 51, or not
What?
51, like in the 60s or 70s.
What
And
the
they put
hell?
the UK version above it. And Stranger Things was named in the top 100. Just wanted to get that out there.
I mean, I even if I think Stranger Things is overrated as hell, I still don't think it's definitely in top 20, maybe 30 shows of all time. Maybe 15 in a stretch, but I do love Stranger Things. Just gonna get out there. But it's the most overrated TV show of all time. And that's actually the original reason why I refused to watch it until season 2. Was because it was literally the most overrated thing of all time. But I decided to check it out because I heard it was good, and I ended up loving it. So, just because something's overrated does not mean you shouldn't watch it or see it.
Let's get this out there. Overrated for you viewers
To us.
is when something is so popular when it should not be as popular as how good it is.
Yes. That's how
it's
we
more
consider overrated. Like, we think Joker is a very overrated movie, even though we both love it.
Because everybody loves that movie. Don't get me wrong, I love it too.
Yeah,
But
it's one of my favorite
not-
movies of all time. It's definitely top 5 for me.
Not everybody should be loving that movie. I don't think it's as overrated as, let's say, like, Suicide Squad, because I know a lot of people.
Yeah, especially our age. Really like that movie.
I remember when it first came out, everybody thought it was a masterpiece.
I thought it was pretty good when I first saw it, but looking back on it and rewatching it, it's not that good.
Same with Batman v Superman, everybody loves that movie. I mean, I don't hate it.
I still love that movie. I'm talking about the Ultimate Edition, by the way.
I think it's quite a bit underrated, but it's not in my top 100 movies.
I can't list the top 100 movies, to be honest.
I
But
could probably list the top 500. That's probably stretching it. Probably
I can
400.
probably do top 50. And keep in mind, if I do end up doing my top 50 favorite movies, they're not all like amazing movies or anything. However, they're movies I enjoy watching. Yeah, they're just favorites. Like, I could have like Avengers Endgame on there. And even though I can agree that movie's not the best, I still love it. I still enjoy it. I cheered, I cried.
And a top 30, even though it won Best Picture and it's a really good movie.
Yeah, exactly. I still haven't seen Parasite, to be honest.
I mean, I put up Fast and Furious over that thing, because those
movies are really fun. Like, you can definitely like fun movies over great movies.
I mean, these are just favorite movies. These movies
I'm
that
not
you can
gonna
watch
kick
every day.
someone's ass for liking somebody liking Fast and the Furious 7 more than Pulp Fiction. I'm not going to.
I think I'm gonna probably. I think I'd have to yell at. I think I'd have to. Have a
Now,
talk
if they were
with
gonna
that
say it's a better movie, then yeah. But if they like it more, that's just their taste.
person. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, if Brody watched, say, Taxi Driver, and then afterwards we'd watch Detective Pikachu, he'd probably shit on Taxi Driver, but he'd say, oh, Detective Pikachu was great. You know, it's just how it is. That's different taste in movies. even though Taxi Driver's a masterpiece, it's, you know, completely different story. And like that's why we were kind of hesitant in showing him Joker, because I don't think he's gonna like it.
Yeah, because he doesn't really understand all that stuff.
And also, I think he just kind of wants to see where the memes come from, like the dance scene.
He's book smart, but he's not street smart.
No. Hey, and this is no offense on Brody, we're just using you as an example. But, because I know all of my viewers know who he is, so, at least they should. If you're from her school, you definitely know who he is, and if you're somebody who's been watching for a long time and watch a lot of my videos, you should know who he is. But yeah, so
if you only watch the videos, and if you're just some random person like RJ or somebody, you wouldn't know what he's like.
Yeah, exactly. See, you know, so, but again, if he gets mad for using it as an example, I'm sorry. You were the best example I could choose. You know, if we were gonna show him Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then I don't know, help me out. Fast and the Furious something. I don't know. Like Hobbs and Shaw. Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw. He would like dig on Hobbs and Shaw. He's like, oh yeah, I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because you know that movie is humorous. And I'm thinking once I have my birthday party, which I'm gonna probably have in like a week or two, we'll probably watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I'm gonna defend Brody in one sentence. Alright, for all this stuff.
Yeah.
He hasn't hit puberty yet. That's
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's
fair.
I mean, I haven't fully hit it. I'm going through it.
I'm not dogging the guy, by the way, here. I'm just using him as an example, as he's less mature than, you know, me and Jake, for example. So, we're just using him as a healthy example, harmless example. I gotta clarify this because, say somebody like Ezra, he watches this video and he's gonna be like, oh my god, you're dogging Brody, I thought you guys were friends. We are friends, okay? I'm just using him as an example. And also, I'm not dogging you, Ezra, either. I'm just saying that he takes things so far out of context, and he takes things that aren't his business and he makes it his business.
Yeah, I get like...
It's a pain in the ass.
Helping your friends, or...
Yeah.
Protecting your friends or whatever, but...
I don't want you stalking my channel waiting for me to say shit. Just so you can meet me, just so you can meet me at school and yell at me. It's like, dude, I am not dogging anyone, okay? It's okay to have problems with somebody.
If you are watching this, stop asking my fucking friends what I think about you. That's honestly...
Yes. I'm not gonna give you an answer anymore. He asks me it pretty, like, weekly.
No, it's like, who cares?
Maybe that's an exaggeration, but he asks me a lot.
He's not my friend. Why should he care?
Exactly. Same here. Again, also, this is not a... This is figurative speech. This is not an attack. It reminds me of how an ex-girlfriend would act after a breakup.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, oh, what does he think of me? And all that shit. Because, like, you could tell, like, that, you know, she hasn't gotten over it. But then the guy has.
It's like Harley Quinn and the Joker.
Yes, exactly! Joker's over, but Harley's definitely not. But acts like she is. This is not an attack at Ezra, it's just an example. I gotta make that as abundantly clear. I'm not starting shit.
Even asked Maurice, and Maurice doesn't even go to her school anymore.
How the hell is that his business at this point, if you're gonna ask Maurice? Ezra, I'm just gonna let you know, none of this shit's your business. In fact, this video isn't your business. Like, I have no intent on you watching it. I never gave you my account.
You guys only talk at PE, and he's asking you weekly. And I can only imagine what Carter and Brody have to go through.
Yes, exactly. And they only,
mean,
like,
they
talk
must
on
have
PlayStation,
some-
really. I don't even see them talk at school.
Yeah.
So, what the hell happened?
I think it's because he thinks I'm gonna make a big deal about it or something.
Yeah, because he thinks...
Or as if this is a secret
you know,
that him and Carter things.
You know, like, I can say, like, what you think of him, or what he acts like, is what he thinks you act like. Even though you can completely tell the difference. And I don't want to make this a complete Ezra rant video, because we've been ranting at this guy for literally 5 minutes, or longer. And this has nothing to do with that. I just feel like I have to address this in the middle of the video, because this kid doesn't shut up. Like, I'm sorry, this is no attack. This is just me saying this. This is just me explaining my actions.
All of Matt's old live streams, or Hellseeker guys, everybody's watching this video. The dude cried in one of the live streams because we called him gay, like once or twice, and because we told him that he should go to the club with us.
Exactly, and that's teasing. That's a joke.
The dude's taking everything seriously, and he doesn't know how to take a joke, quite obviously.
We should never have a roast for him.
Yeah. He's gonna go all Michael Scott on us and try and roast us back.
Yeah.
And he's gonna leave in the middle of it.
Even though he's like, oh, I want to have a roast, and then he's gonna, like, get all pissy. Again, this is not an attack. I know this sounds like it is. This is just me explaining my actions. And, you know, hell, this probably could have been its own video. But this is a podcast for a reason. This is...
nobody's watching right now.
Yeah. Well, there's one viewer, but I think that's you. So...
Yeah. I'm just watching you.
Yeah, exactly. And no Ezra's gonna see this. Will he watch the whole thing? Probably not, but he's gonna scan through it looking for me saying shit about him, me saying his name. It has nothing to do with that. But in fact, I don't think he doesn't talk shit whenever I bring him up. It's always Carter and Brody. But again, that's what we were using him as we were using Brody as an example. So then now he's gonna act like I was trashing him, even though I'm not.
Yeah, he's gonna.
And Brody wouldn't throw a fit about this either. Brody would admit to it because it's true.
He's gonna go back to this video, find stuff, and show it to Carter. He's like, boom, Jake and Matt hate you. Because we said like 2 things.
I don't hate Carter. I think Carter hates me. That's a complete difference of situation. I want to be friends with Carter. I have no problem with the guy.
Back into old recordings or old messages between me and him and showed Carter, like all the stuff we've said. So, I mean, that stuff's private.
Exactly. So is this. I mean, even though this is only for my viewers and close friends. This is not at all for some... I'm not going to use that D word. I'm just going to use some guy that... Because he isn't that D word. Even though we will sometimes say he is, he isn't. And... you know, I can't say, you know, much about it. And he's probably saying, you know, like, oh, he's gonna go wink, wink. And, you know, it's... it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't. And we just like recording conversations that we would usually have, which we have some good conversations, so that's why we're gonna record these. Because... I think you guys will have fun listening to them, as they're mostly about movies. But sometimes we gotta bring this shit up. This is crucial.
I mean, this is like what 2 dudes talk about on a normal work day when they're bored. Like in an office. Like, I swear to God, I've seen Jim and Oscar in the office talk about this stuff.
Again, I don't hate Ezra. I don't hate Carter. I definitely don't hate Brody. There's no problem with Brody. I have no issues with him.
It's just gossip.
He's a cool dude, and I'm just bringing this up only because I'm using him as an example. And I know Ezra's gonna be like, well, why are you making a big deal out of it? Because you're gonna make a big deal out of it.
Alright, let's talk good stuff about Brody, Carter, and Ninja. So they don't feel absolutely bad. And so they don't know that we absolutely...
Take it, Brody's a good friend. He's always there for you. I mean, you can always talk to the guy, and whenever you screw up, he knows you did. Like, it's not like he holds it against you forever. He knows you screwed up, and I applaud him for that.
And he gets over stuff easily.
Yeah, exactly. Because he knows people are like that, and I'm glad about that. I'm proud of him for that. You know, I truly am. In Ezra, I can definitely tell that he does care about his friends, even if he does take minor things out of convenience. It's the most serious thing ever, and it pisses me off. I think it pisses Jake off, it pisses everyone off.
Good thing I could say about Ezra, I guess, is that I can trust him. I mean, he hasn't said some stuff that I've said to people.
Exactly. He gets into people's business. That's the only problem.
But I think I can trust him for the most part.
What do we have to say about Carter?
I have a bad thing to say.
I do too.
Here's the bad thing. He's always trying to work against me in social studies, trying to get his work done first because apparently it matters to him. And I guess that's it. I mean, he sucks Birdie's dick a lot. You know what? Here's another good thing about Ezra. I don't think he's gay. I
mean, there's no problem with either of them being homosexual. It's just, if it's gonna tear up their friends' relationships, I can't condone that.
The only people who I'm kind of suspect about is Brody and Carter and Eric.
I don't think Eric's gay. Eric's not gay. Eric's very straight, but if you got to know the guy, you know that he's straight. But I can see why you think that.
They stand up. Carter and Brody and Eric stand up for each other like they're boyfriend and girlfriend.
I definitely could see that with Carter and Brody, though. I absolutely can stand up. I can see that 100%. And I have no issue with it. It's just as long as it doesn't tear up your friendship with your other friends.
And are they gonna stop being friends with us because of our own opinions? If I think that they're gay and I'm not criticizing them for it, at least for the most part, I mean, that's like if Carter stopped being friends with me because I didn't like a movie that he really liked.
I mean, that's just a dick move.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't have any problems with either of these guys. I mean,
yeah.
Carter, I can forgive for everything he's done, because it's just stupid shit.
Just in case Carter's watching this, remember that time when we used to play zombies, and then that one night Ezra played with them, and then apparently, and then right then and there, he starts ignoring both of us.
Carter is definitely a good guy. Oh, me?
Yeah, you remember that?
I was there.
Well, no, I wasn't either, but it's just like over text. We're texting, it's all fine, and then the second he plays with Ezra, he starts ignoring me.
Yeah, because I feel like Ezra's the puppet master in all the situation.
Yeah. Master of puppets, he's pulling the strings.
Yes.
As Metallica once said.
Yes. Ezra, I used to be like you back, 4 years ago. And I find it hilarious that they're best friends with you. But they stop, at least Carter and Tristan, seem to stop liking me because I was a control freak. But honestly, that only happened because I valued their friendship too much and I didn't want to lose them. Because we both realized this, Carter plays favorites. And so does Brody. Except Brody doesn't do it severely. Carter thinks he can only have one best friend. Brody plays favorites with his friends, but you can tell that he at least stays for them. Like, he doesn't make them feel like they're useless.
I mean, he's friends with everybody, and he gets along with everybody.
Yeah.
But see, Carter thinks that he can only have like 3 friends.
That's including his brother.
Yeah. I mean, they don't...
Which I have no problems really with Ryder other than his temper issues.
Yeah.
Sure, Ryder used to be very hyperactive back a few years ago. But now, he just has a bit of temper problems.
He started being pissed over Sora.
Yeah.
But so did you though. You started being a sore loser whenever you got all this shit. You started losing.
Yeah.
You know, too.
I was fucking half asleep though. But it was hilarious stuff.
I am the god of board games.
But I have no issues with Ryder. I know this is weird to say, and I don't think any of you guys are gonna get it. He is like my little brother. I care about the guy. I truly do. I'm there for him. If he ever needs me, I'll help him out. I've known him for ages. I have no issues with the guy too. He's a great kid. And even though he's only a year younger than me, he feels like he's like 3 years younger than me now.
Other than the fact he thinks he takes Carter as a role model.
Yeah. Again, this is not attacking anyone. This is just us getting shit off our chests. If you're wondering why Carter and Ryder and Brody haven't been appearing in so much videos, this is why. This is completely why. They stopped talking to us. We didn't stop talking to them.
It's not like we did anything, because, I mean, you remember that. I'm like, me used to call Carter gay because we thought he was. And
yeah.
We always asked them, we're like, we think you're getting offended, and then he's like, no, I don't care. I'm like, are you sure? We're pretty sure that you actually care. And he's like, no, and then you stopped talking to us, when if he didn't care, he still would have talked to us.
Exactly. Anyways, let's try to get back to the movie.
I don't have much to say about it.
Alright, so, I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
I think it had its issues, but it was overall okay.
I think it had good fight scenes, but it could hold up, like I could watch it again, but...
Yeah, me too. I think that the movie, everything was good except the characters and the plot. But
also, they cut out a lot of stuff that they should have added in, and then they added in a lot
Joker
of stuff
should have
that
been
they
have a
cut out.
much bigger role, over than 10 seconds of screen time. Where you see the back of his head, you don't even see his face.
I mean, you could obviously tell that Black Mask went from 0 to 100, like this. You could obviously tell they cut stuff out.
Yeah. Black Mask was too crazy, if you ask me.
I know, it should have been building up, but they cut that stuff out.
And the rest of the characters seem kind of one-dimensional.
Yeah, like Huntress and Black Canary.
They didn't seem like they were real characters. Montoya is probably the best out of those 3 characters. I still don't think she's a good character, but she's better than those 2, even if I don't like her. I didn't like her in the Telltale game either, to be honest. Except I didn't like her for the same reasons.
Was probably Black Canary.
Well, yeah, I think
Canary.
she was the most likable.
I mean, she got built up the most.
Yeah.
And she had a relationship with the kid.
And she was close to Black Mask.
Yeah. I mean, she had the biggest, she had the best plot, or whatever, side plot, I think, with Black Mask and
to be honest, the side plots
Montoya.
are what carries this movie, is the side plots.
Yeah.
It's not the main story arc. Yeah, and the action. Like, the side plots are actually pretty good, but then you get to the main story. It's kind of, it's rigged, and also the MacGuffin is really bad. It's... I can't, you know... I do kind of hope they end up rebooting the DCEU. I can't say that enough. I think they need, like, I'm hoping that this Flashpoint movie, I'm hoping that this will be a definitive reboot. Because
the Batman movie is gonna be.
Yeah, well, I hope that what they do is in the Flashpoint, I hope that the Batman in that is going to be Robert Pattinson. I'm hoping that. Like the evil Batman or whatever. Because I think that would make a lot more sense. And then you can actually, and then by the end of the movie, he can actually be connected as the leader of the Justice League, the new leader. Over Ben Affleck.
Who?
Robert Pattinson's Batman, because Superman was not the leader of the Justice League in the DCU so far. It's been Superman the entire time. Or it's been Batman.
Be the leader. I think he should just be a dude who just came to help out.
Batman does not work with teams. In fact, I don't think he should even be considered in the Justice League. He is their funder. He funds them, and he occasionally helps them out. Because one, he...
Like an office type situation in the Justice League. Kind of like Jim and Dwight take over for a little bit. It should be Cyborg and Flash. I think that'd be cool for them to take over for a partial amount of time.
Yeah, because Batman, one, he doesn't really like any of the members of the Justice League. Sure, he's kind of close with Wonder Woman in the DCU. I can see them even being in a relationship in the future. Do I want that? No, not really, but I can see it, and I don't mind it. Superman, I don't see them as friends or enemies. I think Superman is the type that always wants to be friends with Batman, but Batman does not want to be friends with Superman.
Yeah, I think...
I hate the idea of them being best friends, because they're not.
With the relationship of Wonder Woman and Batman, I think that we need to see more. I think that's why Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was such a success in my eyes. Was because they mixed in romance with Gamora.
Take it, all the kids hate that though, and I hate that they cut it out because the kids hate it. But I still feel like that's what holds together some movies.
I think they need to add that into the superhero movie stuff.
Yeah, I agree. It not just a one-dimensional love interest. They need to have them be like a superhero, anti-hero, or even a villain.
Yeah, like Spider-Man, I feel like him and MJ, whatever her name is now,
Michelle Jones.
I think it's so sad. I mean, I like in
Add in
Spider-Man
Black
3
Cat in the third.
Stacy comes in.
Yeah, and actually have her be a spider hero. I don't want the Spider-Verse in the MCU. I think the Spider-Verse kind of ruined Spider-Man's comic books. For the simple fact that Peter isn't unique.
I think Gwen Stacy is a good one to keep in. And that's not like a Spider-Verse type thing, it's just she becomes Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if she became Spider-Man through Peter Parker semen.
Oh no.
And they had a kid and it was called Spider Baby.
Oh no. I'd love to see that.
Like Aunt May the movie.
Oh no. Oh, not Aunt May the movie. He came up with a concept for that, and I can't say that. I want to see that. It's horrifying.
The channel is, for the most part, R-rated.
Yeah. I don't want to see John Favreau in that kind of role, though.
I mean, it doesn't have to show anything. It could be like a PG type thing.
Anyways, I wanted to share my personal idea for a Batman film, since we have a bit of time left.
Go for it.
So, Jake, I've given you kind of a concept idea for this, but pretty much... Alright, so I would not go for a mainstream Batman villain as the main villain. In fact, the reason I wanted to bring this up mostly is because Black Mask would be my main villain. And mostly because I don't want to start out with the Joker or, you know, a big Batman villain. I don't think we need to start with that. I think the Joker shouldn't even be an antagonist in the story. I think Joker should be more of an asset. Not at all, you know, an ally, because he's not. And Batman still doesn't trust him. Batman knows that he can break out of prison any day, so he doesn't trust Joker. But the thing is, in the story, Joker is kind of like a Hannibal Lecter type character. I think that is the best choice for Joker. At least if you're going to start a trilogy of movies. You don't have Joker as the main villain first. Or even in the second film. Oh, I got a trophy. How the hell did I get that? Glide for 400 meters with less than 20 meters on the ground. Huh. Okay. Well, but Joker would be in this movie. I would also feature a few other characters. Harvey Dent is best friends with Bruce Wayne. And Harvey Dent is kind of somebody who helps out with Batman. He knows he's Batman.
I think it'd be cool if, in a live-action thing, they made Two-Face actually become a good guy instead of dying straight away.
I agree with that. You know, I actually think I would use that. Two-Face doesn't die or get incarcerated. He ends up helping behind bars. Because Harvey Dent takes over.
He starts healing, and then he becomes like an accomplice to Batman, first of all, and then he goes to help Nightwing, and then he makes Red Hood a good guy. I think that'd be cool.
Huh. That kind of reminds me of Harvey Dent in Hush, the comic book. I don't know if he's like that in the movie. I haven't seen the movie, but so Anyways, Black Mask is your main villain. And Black Mask also has a bodyguard. Now, it's not Zaz. It's Bane. However, he's not mentioned. Bane is his nickname. He's not called by Bane until the end of the movie. He doesn't. He's just a big dude. He's not like a. He's not on drugs yet. He takes the drugs at the end of the movie, and he also starts wearing the mask at the end of the movie. But he doesn't like wear it. You don't know it's Bane. You just think it's some big ass dude. Until the end of the movie, he's mentioned as his nickname is Bane because he's gonna be the bane of their. Black Mask says that's the bane of their existence right when he's about to execute them. I know it's cheesy, but sometimes you gotta add some cheese, and I don't think this is gonna be. It's gritty, but it's not like Joker gritty. So, anyways. There's also a side villain. You can have like a murder going on or something throughout the story. You can have it be like a really low level Batman villain like the Calendar Man or.
What the hell is a Calendar Man? I don't even know what that is.
The Calendar Man is a serial killer in the Batman universe who kills his victims on holidays. That's all he is. So, like, it could be Calendar Man, Professor Pig, Riddler, I don't know, somebody like that. Actually, no. It wouldn't be Riddler because I would actually want to use Riddler in the second film. As a kind of a Two-Face is kind of his hacking smart guy. Not a full-on Riddler, just kind of like a more realistic Riddler.
If you actually did put Professor Pig, you could probably take out the Professor. That kind of makes it cheesy, and just go with Pig.
Yeah, I could definitely see him going that, or he could be like a like university teacher, professor, and that's why he's called Professor Pig, because he.
Is that really why he's called that?
What?
Comics or whatever? Is that why he's called that in the comics?
I have no idea. Well, he's a surgeon. But still, that's not like a professor term, but he is a surgeon in the comics to create his Dollatron. So, say there's like a minor fight near the end, if Professor Pig's the killer, or something like that, you know, this would be like a 2.5-hour movie. Just so you can have both of the storylines. Or even, hell, even Zaz could be the killer. Somebody who, because I think Professor Pig, he would need either his own movie or he would need like an extra hour dedicated to him. Because the Dollatrons.
Hold on, not like he's doing. You'd also have to set it near a holiday.
Yeah, I would probably set it either near Christmas or Halloween. One of those. Also Catwoman would be featured, but the thing is she's an ally, she's not an antagonist. Maybe the opening scene
like
is...
Arkham type thing where you put a bunch of villains into it.
Well, I wouldn't put in a ton of them, but I'd put in like a few. Like 6.
More than 3 is like a lot.
Well, the thing is, I wouldn't have them as like, you know, like it's not obvious. They're just kind of mentioned. It's like, you know, they're all throwaway characters. So say Bane is pretty much a throwaway character till the end, and but Catwoman is like a main asset. So in this Black Mask, you know, he's, I don't know, he has some type of goal. Maybe he's the one who hired the contract killer. So hell, maybe it's Deadshot going around killing these guys. Maybe not Deathstroke. Originally I was gonna have Deathstroke as the enforcer, but I think Deathstroke should be saved for later. But pretty much near the end of the movie, they go into a circus and they kill, like, say Black Mask has a few of his guys kill a ton of people in that circus. And in it is 2 parents. So they're dead. And there's this little kid that hides in the corner, but Batman goes and rescues him and leaves him to an advantage. And then pretty much happens, Batman, Black Mask gives Bane the drug, and he, like, you know, he becomes huge and monstrous and huge as shit. And they start like a fight. Batman rips the cables off or something. I don't know, maybe Black Mask has a ton of those containers around, blows up the circus or something goofy, and the mask melts on Black Mask's face, but he gets away, he just gets arrested. Something like that. And then Batman talks to the kid, well, Bruce Wayne does, and it turns out that kid's Dick Grayson. Pretty obvious, but that's Dick Grayson. And at the end of the movie, oh, and not to mention, Harvey Dent is at that circus. This is the biggest part that sets up the sequel. Harvey Dent is at that circus, and he gets half of his face burnt off. If it's at a circus, maybe it's just maybe Harvey Dent's a hostage, something like that. But say Harvey Dent gets his face burnt off. And then that sets up Two-Face. So Two-Face is the villain of the next movie.
You can make Harvey Dent a reporter instead of like a lawyer or whatever. And he's there to like,
I don't mind that.
Figure out what happened and report it, and then he gets caught up in all that shit.
That's not too bad of an idea. Or he could be like a detective or something, a police detective. Something like that. This isn't like a year 1 story. Batman's probably been Batman for at least 3 years at this point. And then, next movie, post-credit scene is Batman, bless you, so, is Batman training Dick Grayson, and he chooses the name Robin.
That's like Dark Knight Rises level.
Well, that's not his real name, he just, you know, maybe he sees some birds and gets the idea. I don't fucking know. And
if you had Batman like messing with them, kind of like a father-son thing, and Batman keeps on calling him Dickhead.
Well, if I were to make this a comedy, then maybe. I like that though.
That's like a comedy. I mean, that's just like kind of just something to add in, just something funny.
Yeah, I mean that's not too bad. I mean, Dick Grayson is Batman's adoptive son. Bruce Wayne did adopt him. Technically, Dick Grayson is Batman's son, even though he's not. So is Jason. I think so is Tim Drake. Damian is actually his son, but you know, we're not even gonna put in any of the other Robins just because. You know how many movies we would need just to include all 3 Robins?
I think just Jason Todd and Jason.
Yeah, because I would want to include Red Hood. So, Red Hood, I think, would be a great choice.
He wouldn't even have to be like an adopted Robin. He could just be Batman's son. That's what he's known as. He's actually Batman's son. It's not even like adopted. And then he just turns evil automatically instead of just going to Robin.
That's not too bad. Anyways, in the sequel, Two-Face is the villain. Again, Joker Joker is not an asset in the story. He's just kind of in it. And there's this side plot. Say Joker, it gets focused on more just to add him into the story. Because these movies are leading up to him. So he's talking to this nurse. throughout the story. It's him narrating. You know, he narrates, you know, maybe his backstory with Batman, you know, throughout the movie. And then, pretty much near the end, she helps break him out. That nurse is Harley Quinn, and that's, you know, the end of that plot. Maybe Two-Face is in Arkham Asylum trying to break out, I don't know, maybe Killer Croc, something like that. And, you know, or just maybe some extra Batman villains like Clayface, you know, and pretty much, you know, Batman locks them up, and then he goes after Two-Face. There's this, like, emotional moment and stuff, and then Two-Face ends up, you know, becoming a good guy again. And, you know, he's Harvey Dent. Riddler is a side villain, just a hacker for Two-Face. He's nothing more than that. He's not, like, the Riddler. He's just, that's his nickname. And then the third movie would be Joker. Robin is Batman's quest boy, pretty much. Whatever he needs, Robin does. Whatever Batman can't do. And then the final movie, I would go really gruesome with something like that. Have Joker be taken hostages one by one. Harley Quinn is not a major character, but maybe she has a redemption story arc throughout it. Maybe Joker gets either put to justice or something like that, or dies. Something like that. Don't make him too important, but, well, he's the main villain, but don't make, like, have him have a closure of the story. Like, maybe this all takes place within the same 4 months or something like that. I don't know. Maybe a year. Okay, you know what? I will too. So anyway, that's my concept for Batman Trilogy. It's not perfect by any means, but again, I would love to write and produce and star in, you know, a Batman movie. Make a Batman movie and stuff. And, you know, I'd love to write them. But, you know, mine would include fan service, but again, same time, certain characters like the Penguin and Riddler, they wouldn't be like main villains. Just because, and Bane, just because there's not much you can do with them as main antagonists, if you ask me. They're not very interesting to use. Riddler, I think, just works as a hacker type character. Penguin can just be some mafia boss Batman interrogates. Bane can just be some guy's brute. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Bye.